Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Developers 2.0. So in this video, we're going to discuss an assignment question which has been shared by Telusko as a part of the contest for the giveaway of MacBook Air. And in this assignment, they have asked to solve a Pascal triangle using three approaches: memoization, iteration, and recursion. So first of all, let's have a look on the Pascal triangle. Like, what is Pascal triangle? So Pascal triangle is basically a triangle with the last element as one, and the middle element will be the sum of above two element. Like on the first row, I'm going to have one, and as I already told you that the initial and the last element of the list of the any row will going to be one. So this will be my first element of the row two. So first element is always going to be one, and last element will also will going to be one. So one and one over here. Similarly, the first and last element of third row will going to be one, but the middle element will be the sum of above two element, like one plus one, that is two. For fourth row, the first and last element is one, and the middle element, like the second column element for the row four, will be one plus two, above two element. Then similarly for the third column for the row four will be two plus one, that is my three. That's how we calculate Pascal triangle. And even a formula is there, like NC 0 combination formula is also there. But in this approach, we're going to discuss the approach we know. Like we won't going to use a combination formula NC0. NCR is nothing but not NC0 but NCR, and the last first and the last element of the row will be NC0. Okay, fine. So as we know, what is Pascal triangle? Now let's start with the iteration approach. So as I already told you that the first element will going to be one. The first element of first row will going to be one. So I hard code the value for first row, first element. After after adding first element, I just appended the list in the Pascal triangle array list. And once I'm done with this, I just made temporary list. Like temporary is nothing but an row. I just make next row as a blank, and I just iterated over the for loop. And within for loop, for loop will going to be executed from 2 to n, and where n is nothing but the row number which the user will going to submit. Suppose my user is submitting row as 4, so n will going to be a 4 over here. So I'm going to display this many row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. Okay, so temp will be my new row, as I just came to my new row. So I'll just initialize my temp with the new array list, and then I'll just going to make a for loop to iterate over the row element, and to get the value calculated for that row, particular row. So I just looked from 1 to I, that is, as we know that for the first row, we have only one element. For the second row, we have two elements. For the third row, we have three elements. For the fourth row, we have four elements. And likewise, we go ahead. So that's the reason I just iterated from 1 to I. And as we already discussed that the first and the last element of the particular row will going to be 1. So I just added 1 in the row that I have in my temp. And for the middle, I have calculated the value by getting second, I think. Okay, huh. So for middle values, for the middle values, I just calculated by the past two values. Like suppose if I want to calculate value for this, so what I'll going to do? I'm going to fetch value this and value this, because this 1 plus 2 will going to be 3. So if I want to calculate value for the row 4, that is my R4. So what I'm going to need is R3 as well. I'll go to R3 and I'll going to get the value for C1 over here, like column 1 of R3 and column 2 of R3. I'm going to sum up them, sum that both the column, and I'll place the value over here. That's how Pascal triangle will going to work. That's the reason I just get the value from I minus 2. I minus 2, why? Because as I started my row with the 1, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. But my list in Java language starts with 0. So for first, I'm going to have 1 over here. For second row, I'm going to have 1 comma 1. For third, I will going to have 1 comma 2 comma 1. That's how it will going to look like. So if I'm at row 4, I'm going to need this element, okay, this list. And how I can get this list? This will be my 0 indexed list. This will be my first index list. This will be my second index list. Second how? Because how to get second index list? So what I have done, I just minus 2 from the current row. So if I'm at row 4, I'll minus I minus 2. I'll get the list which is there at I minus 2 place. And I'll get the value likewise for the particular column of that list. So I minus 2 and j minus 2. J minus 2 is my column and I minus 2 is for getting the row. So I'm getting value of the previous row and previous row column 1 if I'm at column 2. Okay. Because if I'm here, I'm going to need value this C1 and C2. And 1 is nothing but in Java or in any of the programming language, the value start from 0. So in order to get 0 value, 0 index value, if I'm at current, if my current index is at 2, because 1, 2, 3, 4, I started loop from 1. That's the reason. That's the reason I am doing I minus 2. If you are starting loop from 0, then you can place it I minus 1 over here. Okay, fine. So that's how we're going to calculate the Pascal triangle using the iteration method. So in the similar fashion, I had just calculated Pascal triangle using memoization and recursion as well. For memoization, I just make memoize table over here as a global variable, and I just updated the value using an helper function over here. Okay. So even in recursion, I just placed, you can go through the code. The code link I'll be providing in the description itself. So go to my description link, you can go to the GitHub link from the description and you can get the code for the same. You're going to get a code for iteration, memoization, and recursion as well. Okay. In this video, we're going to discuss about the recursion method and the high level of memoization and iteration. So memoization and recursion video. Okay, fine. Even for recursion, I'm going to have a recursion as well as a recursion helper function, and memoization, I'm going to have Pascal triangle memoization and the helper function for the same. Help. And you can see that the helper function is almost the same, is working almost the same over here, the recursion and the memoization. As I discussed that if you are going to starting value for in the loop from 0, then you can do I minus 1. But if you are starting values from 1, then you are supposed to do I minus 2 while getting the value from the memoize table or either in recursion as well. Okay, so that's how the Pascal triangle works in Java. So special shout out to Navin Reddy sir and their whole Telusko team for such a intuitive idea for making a giveaway of MacBook Air. Thanks for watching this video and do subscribe our channel for more updates. Even we are placing new videos on the exciting opportunities of the latest job openings for software engineers, along with the DSL Go part. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe our channel.